So I just want to show you one way that I use to write code um, to speed up the process of getting it right. So the issue I'm tackling here is I'm dealing with the questions module, and there's a form for editing questions. Whoops, very big. But when you save a question, if the question is an update, um, then there's a particular situation where if the front of the question, i.e. the part which is presented as the question, if it's changed, then all the entry objects associated with that question are potentially invalid. So what I mean is if the front of the question is orange and the back is, the French orange, le orange, but you change the front from orange to apple, then all the entries, all the attempts by previous users and them being judged as to whether they're um, acceptable alternatives or not are now invalidated. So I've got the code here that once we've saved what the original front of the question is, and then after we've done all various processing, we reassign what the front is according to whether um, the native's on the front or back. I won't go into all of that. And it's saying if the original no longer matches the new front, then we're going to call a method on question wipe entries. And so that's what I want to write right now is wipe entries. So what is it going to do? It's going to find all entries associated with this question and then wipe them. So the connection between entries and questions is every entry points to a question, but we're going to take the question as a starting point. Now I can probably guess the right way to write this method, but then I have to boot up the server and I have to check if it's running right. If not, I have to debug it. It's all a little bit slow. So I'm going to show you just a slightly quicker, more foolproof way of writing code here. So what you can do is you can fire up a interactive shell for Django. And so you need to get into your virtual environment first, so that it's using the all the installed modules. If you forget to do this, it'll have problems kicking itself off. Then the next thing you need to do is it's a command python manage py shell. So this goes into an interactive shell within your project. So we always need to start off by loading the models we're going to use. So just by default, without even thinking about what models I might need, I always do from main.models import star, and from grammar.models import star, and it could be coach as well, but that's usually covers most things we're dealing with. So then I'm going to get a question. So question objects first, just get the first one in the database. So there it is from home. So I can play with it, I'm going to save that to a variable. Okay, so how would we wipe all the entries associated with a question that we now have access to? So I can start playing with it. Go entry set. There we go, so that's returned something, so I'm on the right path. There we go. So there's all the entries which point to this particular question, and since I'm working with the local development database where I can restore the database afterwards, I can't do any permanent harm. So q.delete entry set.delete. Okay. So let's try entries equals q dot entry set dot all entries dot delete. Okay, that looks like it's deleted it. So we'll just see. So now there's no entries associated with that question. Great. So now I have worked out the code that I need. So whoops, that's my darling wife there. So because this is in the question object instead of Q, we're simply dealing with self. So we go entries equals self dot entry set dot all, and we worked out that works, and then we just go entries dot delete. Return true. And there we go. And so we've done it. So hopefully that's helpful. I can run that to make sure it works, but I'm pretty sure it works because I've tested it out already, and it just saves a lot of time in the development process.